everybody, and welcome back to G-Bear's OffGridWays, a homestead in the desert. And we're going to get right to it today and start off with the answers to the What Is It Wednesday that we had yesterday. So are you guys ready? This was the item right here with the little handle and the ring. And we had 4 correct answers right off the bat. I know Brush Bum was one of them, and I can't think of the other 3, but I'll put their names, I'll put a list of all their names right here, and I'll put them about right here. How's that sound? So you can all see them. So I was busy most of the day because I went down to the post office to see if my inheritance had gotten in the mail. So when I first got down there, I checked the post office and there was mail in my box, but not the one I'm looking for. It was just an advertisement. So I said, well, maybe it'll come in a little bit later, because yesterday was a holiday and everybody was off. But I didn't want to just sit there at the post office. So I went out and I did some exploring and junk hunting out in the desert on some different roads I've never been down before. And I'll be attaching that video on to the end of this one. So what is this thing? Well, this is for making perfectly round eggs for sandwiches like an Egg McMuffin. You put this in the pan and get it hot along with the pan. And then you put your oil or butter, whatever you want, in the center of this. Let it spread out. And then you crack your egg in there and puncture the yolk so that it evens out and levels. And then you cook one side, pull this ring off, and then flip your egg and cook the other side. And you make a sausage and egg McMuffin, just like the one that you're about to see in the picture. I'll put that picture right about here, right about here. All right. So, while I was out running through the desert today, I found these items. There was a bunch of stuff dumped with Christmas wreaths and that stuff, which I didn't need. But these 2 hoodies were in perfect condition. So I took them and I ran them through the washer. And now I've got them hanging on my line to dry. All my hoodies are all falling apart in the last 3 years. I couldn't afford to buy a new one. So now I've got 2 that I can use for working around out here on the homestead without having to spend any money for new ones. That's a good thing. So, as I was looking down some other roads, I came across this canvas bag. And this canvas bag is brand new, and it's got a magnifying glass here. I'll clean up and I can use that. And then it's full of rocks that somebody picked up. And it doesn't look like anything here is really worth saving. But I brought it all along anyway, because I've seen people find prospectors' buckets out in the desert and pick them up, dump them out, and just take the bucket and leave gold behind. So, it doesn't look like there's going to be anything worth salvaging in here. It looks like it's all junk. But I'll go through it anyway, and then I'll use this as a prospecting bag the next time I go out. Cool, huh? So, the other thing I found was this rake. Apparently somebody pulled out in the desert and dumped a bunch of yard clippings and prunings and stuff like that. And when they were leaving, their rake fell off the back of their trucks, and so they were out of rake. So I've got it now, and I can always use another rake. That'll come in handy. So those are the things I found out there today. Pretty cool, huh? Oh, I gotta bring my egg ring in. Now, I didn't have time to run down to the bank today, and I have 2 checks that I received. One is for the base amount, and the other one is for the interest over the past couple of years. So that's all going to get taken care of tomorrow. I'm going to go to my bank, and I have to bring the attorney's letters and all that stuff so they know that it's an inheritance and I don't get taxed on it, and they don't contact the IRS and the Secret Service and say, hey, I think this guy's doing something illegal with this money he's depositing. But I want to make one thing perfectly clear. I always hated that statement. I want to make something perfectly clear. Anyway, what's perfectly clear is some people get it in their heads that when somebody says, I've got an inheritance coming, it means that they're about to become a millionaire. And it's a far, far, far cry from anywhere near that. All right? There's no millionaire being made here. My friend Bill did remember me with a fairly generous amount, but it doesn't even get to register anywhere along the line of millionaire. All right? So keep that in mind. I'm not independently rich all of a sudden. As a matter of fact, I've been doing some preliminary math, and I've got to work this out just right, because the amount I have inherited doesn't even equal 50% of my debt. So in order to make this work, I've got to get the high interest debt out of the way first, so that my Social Security will start meeting my monthly requirements, and I won't be behind by $900 every month, or $900+ every month. So I got to get that $900+ out of there and go the other way. So my Social Security is under $1,000. So if I can get it down to where I'm only using half my Social Security for monthly bills, the other half is going to go into savings and build up over the next few years, so that'll work out. And again, we're supposed to have that thing with the new president coming in, where he's going to limit credit card companies to 10% interest. And I've had a few of them that are climbed up in interest over the years, so that'll help a lot. That'll be one third of what I'm paying on a few of the credit cards. So that money is, every time I make a payment that's only the minimum or $20 over the minimum, the interest alone is wiped away. So I'm not making any leeway on those. Anyway, that's the story of what's going on here. Nice day today. Should have got a cameraman right there with the camera. He's following me. But I'm a short guy, so my shadow doesn't show out like that. Hey, I'm in shorts and a t-shirt, and I was dressed up to go to the bank today, but had I left here to go down the hill to my bank, that's the nearest one, and took care of everything down there and then got back on the road to come here, I'd be hitting all the afternoon traffic coming up through the pass, and I wouldn't get home until between 7 and 9 p.m. if I left here at 12:30. So that was ridiculous. I said, no way. I'll wait. The check ain't going to get spent if it ain't getting cashed. But what I did do... Ooh, is that whining? What I did do was I've got still got some money in my checking account, because I haven't paid all my bills yet this month, since it's only the first couple of days in the month. And I said, you know what? I'm going to celebrate. So I went down and I got me some beer and a nice thick steak and some fresh carrots and some asparagus. And I'm going to have me a nice meal tonight. And I'm going to make that with, I've got some homemade bread left over. And I'll cut a couple of thick slices and make cheesy toast to go along with that. So anyway, I want to thank you all for joining me and sticking with me. I'm sure you're going to be happy to know that now that this BS is over with, things are going to start moving along a little bit quicker pace here. And we're going to get things done. So thanks for joining me. This is G Bear signing off. Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to G Bear's OffGridWays, a homestead in the desert. And I'm out and exploring the desert again, and came across this trashed out makeshift shooting range. So I'm going to take a walk around here and see if there's anything worth salvaging. Now, ain't going to be any good to metal detect here, because this is going to be full of bullet casings. As you can see, real mess here. People don't clean up after themselves. They think the desert cleans itself, and it doesn't. So anyway, what a pile of mess junk. Woo-wee. I see a lot of steel casing, military surplus ammo here. Somebody's out here with AKs and ARs. Those are some nice targets up there. Too bad they're all full of holes. And somebody went through a little bit of trouble of actually putting those things up, hammering in the stakes and stapling on the targets. And a lot of these targets have those removable dots where you can pull them off and cover up the bullet holes and keep on using them. Oh, too bad that scarifier plow unit over there got all damaged. One of my neighbors was looking for one, and that would have been a nice item for him to pick up, but it's full of bullet holes now, just like all this other stuff. And by the looks of it, these guys didn't care about actually accuracy on their guns. They just wanted to unload a magazine or two onto the targets just to feel the power. Dumb shits. Those are the ones that give us a bad name. Anyway, doesn't look like there's going to be anything worth salvaging here that I can see from this angle. But it is interesting to walk around and see. The reason I'm out here is I went to the post office this morning hoping to have the expected mail envelope I wanted, but there was nothing in there, so I just figured that they might be a little bit behind schedule because they weren't working yesterday. So they're probably still sorting mail and getting it out there. So I figured, well, I'll go out and check a couple of dirt roads and see what's out there. And then I'll head back over and check them in a couple hours. So I found was probably when I went up a road on the other side, up the other past those telephone poles up there, And over the top of that hill and down in the back, there's a car there all stripped, marked with a couple of tags from two famous names in the area, gangbangers, of course. I can't believe that they haven't caught those guys yet and thrown them in the lockup. Their names are all over this area of California. So either they know somebody on the inside, or there's some highfalutin politician or police kids, officers' kids, who aren't going to worry about getting caught because they'll get a free pass and be out on the street the next day. And that's only a guess of mine. I'm not going to actually accuse anybody of that, but hey, in the past I've read in the news that there have been some political officials from this area who have gone to federal jail for corruption. They figure that coming out into the out of the way places like this, they can get away with it a little more easily, but they don't. Well, anyway, that was my walk around here. I might come out and check things out here, but even metal detecting a hillside like that, it doesn't look like the proper geography to search for gold. So it would be a waste of time. Of course, no doubt that some of the guys have stand here with their semi-automatic rifles and handguns and said, let's see if we can hit that rock up there on the side of the mountain. So I'm sure that that's full of lead up there. And it would drive you crazy trying to metal detect in something like that. So I'm going to close this off, and maybe I'll add on to it later today. Or maybe I'll just delete this. Talk to you soon.